I'm here in the wild Canadian Rockies, and for the next 3 days, I'm gonna be backpacking with all the favorite gear from one of my favorite YouTubers, Miranda Goes Outside. Some of this gear is also my favorite, some of it might be a little weird for me to use, and some is gear that I've straight up disliked in the past. Luckily, I have Miranda here with me to show me the ropes and explain some of her weirder gear choices.
I could do that. I don't think any of my gear is weird. I think all my gear is completely normal. Like everything else in my life, 100% normal.
We're gonna be dealing with lots of rain, climbing elevation, including over 4 mountain passes, camping in the exposed alpine, and dealing with a remote area where there is no trail. So the gear is gonna be put to a good test, and in some cases, pushed to its limits in the unforgiving Canadian Rockies. And definitely stick around to the 3rd day because we're gonna be doing a poop kit showdown.
Fridge. Yeah.
Fridge.
One of the pieces of gear that I was really happy to see is on Miranda's favorite gear list is the REI Flash 55, because it's also one of my favorite packs. There's a lot of really cool features with it, but let's hear what Miranda has to say about why she likes it. So Miranda, Flash 55, one of your favorite pieces of gear.
For sure.
What are the 3 kind of main things that make it stand out for you?
Oh, that's a great question. So I think that the price point is a big one. To be able to have a lightweight pack that costs like $200 US is just amazing. The second thing I really love about it, if you turn sideways, are the water bottle pockets. They are these like forward-facing water bottle pockets. Those are so cool, and I love that REI has made them able to fit both a narrower water bottle, like a smart water bottle or the Migo, as well as a Nalgene, you know, and you can kind of adjust that size. I think that's really clever. And I also love side pockets, and I hate when they're taken up by water bottles.
Totally.
So that's a big one for sure.
Any third one?
The third one for sure would be the variety of fit options. So especially with the newer packs, you can swap out the hip belts. You can swap out, I think you can swap out the harness as well. Yeah. You can adjust the torso length. Yeah.
Game changer.
It is. It's a huge game changer. And I think it allows for a lot more variety of body types to use the pack. And I love that.
Yeah. One of my favorite pieces of gear too. So we're on the same page when it comes to the pack, but I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last. But there's a reason why you like the gear, and there's a reason why I might also like the gear or not like the gear, and that's okay. That's part of the fun of backpacking, is there's lots of different gear and a lot of different ways to have fun out here with the different gear that is available. So,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to learn about what you think of my stuff.
Onward.
Let's do it.
Miranda hit a lot of the reasons that the REI Flash 55 is one of my favorite pieces of gear out there as well. But I think something that's really maybe underappreciated and underrated with the Flash 55 is its ability to carry weight. REI advertises the pack as being able to carry 30 pounds, but I've had 50 pounds in this pack and I found it comfortable. A lot of that is due to the adjustability of the pack, so you can get it to fit you just right, but also uses very stiff foam and a really solid frame that makes it carry weight pretty effectively. And I just want to reiterate the water bottle pockets, because REI is doing something really cool with these side water bottle pockets that allow you to access water very effectively. And I don't know why pack companies, there's a bunch out there, you know who you are, who are still making packs where you can't easily reach back, grab water bottles, and then take a sip and then put them back. The weather forecast for today was for rain pretty much all day, with it kind of peaking this evening. But so far we've been lucky. We've had a couple little intermittent sprinkles here and there, but mostly it's been dry. I'm a little bit wary of the clouds that are accumulating over the mountains on that side of us, because that's coming towards us and it definitely looks like it's raining there. So we'll see what happens. It'd be really nice to get to camp before it starts raining and get camp set up, because I'm a little bit uncertain how my tent's gonna do being set up in the rain. Miranda might have some tips for me, but fingers crossed we just don't have to deal with that.
A long rumble.
The rain's picking up. I'm gonna put on my rain jacket, and we're starting to see flashes of lightning over there, and the thunder's pretty extreme and happening pretty quickly after the lightning, which is not what you want.
I'm doing okay.
Hopefully.
I've never been in hail like this.
This is crazy. We've made it on to Sunset Pass. For the next little while, we're gonna be above tree line for a little bit, which is kind of sketchy. We're gonna try and move through this section as quickly as possible, get down to the trees, and then make our way to camp. And just like that, the rain kind of let up on us, which is really nice. Just downhill, down to the lake, which You'd normally be able to see behind that cloud. Unfortunately, we're not getting that view right now, but it's still beautiful up here. I'm excited to get down to camp because I am hungry, and luckily I have 2 of Miranda's favorite backpacking meals in order to try on this trip and see how they do. But yeah, hopefully the rain holds off because I do not want to be setting up my tent in the rain. We're getting some beautiful views of the lake as we kind of cross this slope here. But what's also neat is we get to see a little bit of what tomorrow is going to entail. We're going to be going around the lake and then heading up this valley towards that first pass that you see there. From there, we get some pretty insane views. It's definitely a slog and tough trail to get up there. And then we drop down the other side and then climb right back up another ridge to another pass. And that's the pass where there's no trail. We're just going to be just hoofing it, trying to find our way. We might get lost, might not. It'll be an adventure. So we made it to camp, still raining. Not ideal, but I did bring a little treat for us to deal with the rain. But first I need to set up my tent. And for that, I'm gonna need a little bit of help from Miranda. So on this trip, I'm using your favorite tent, the Nemo Hornet Elite version, right?
Osmo Elite, yeah.
Osmo Elite, okay.
That's the rules.
And I do have a question for you because I've used this tent a little bit, but not a ton. So it's a semi-freestanding tent that pitches inner first, then you put the fly over top. My question is, with the rain, do you have a trick? Do you have a trick for me?
A trick for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think one thing about the Hornet is that this tent sets up so fast that generally I feel like I can kind of like get it set up, even like put the poles on, clip it, and then just chuck the rain fly over it.
Okay.
And then from underneath clip it.
Yeah. So you put the poles in, like the 3 spots for the poles in on the inner, and then just throw the fly on over top. And then
I'll put the poles in, and I'll just grab the base of the tent and like clip it to the top, and then just chuck the rain fly over before I do all of the clips.
Sweet. That wasn't too bad. I kind of panicked at a point there, but got it set up pretty quickly. Let's take a look inside and see how much water got in. Overall, it looks pretty dry in there. There's not really that many droplets on the floor of the tent. The inner's a little bit wet, but not too bad. So Miranda's tips definitely helped me out on that one. I was able to get it set up and keep the tent pretty dry. That being said, I think my personal preference for a tent when it's raining is something that pitches with an all-in-one pitch, where the fly is attached to the inner, and as you pitch the tent, it just all goes up, and you don't really need to worry as much about the inner getting wet. Something that I love about Nemo tents is the material that they're made of. They use an Osmo fabric, that's what they're calling it. It's a nylon polyester blend, and what's great about it is that it doesn't really absorb water, so it doesn't sag or stretch when it's wet compared to tents that are made with a purely nylon fabric. And that's awesome. When it's raining, that actually makes a really big difference. The thing I brought with me, which I'm really glad I did because of all the rain that we're experiencing, is a tarp. And it's gonna be really nice to be able to sit under there, eat dinner, out of the rain, and hopefully warm up a little bit.
Yeah, boy.
I'm starving. I don't know about you guys. Ready to go?
Oh, dude.
Very, very hungry.
I have this monstrosity from Miranda. So you in your videos, you call it a safety blanket.
Yeah.
Tell me more, because I have no idea. I personally hate bear cans, and I'm just curious.
I love my bear canisters. Well, for a couple reasons. I think one of it is absolutely like a bit of, I don't know if nostalgia is the right word, but like before I got a bear canister, I used to stress a ton about food storage. Like as soon as I got a bear canister, it felt like suddenly everything was sort of unlocked for me a bit, you know? And I just love the fact that I could just take that bear canister and just like chuck it on the ground somewhere basically and think very little about it. So
that's a nice aspect, not having to deal with like trying to tie it up. You just go roll it away and off you go. Pulled out the meals.
Yes.
2 meals from Miranda, Pinnacle Foods. And I got the creamy Tuscan chicken here and the roasted chicken and white cheddar biscuit dumplings.
Yes.
Which is your favorite?
I would say that for me, probably the roasted chicken and white cheddar biscuit dumplings is my favorite, but the creamy Tuscan chicken is like a close second. Most importantly, the creamy Tuscan chicken is Rainer's favorite. So I brought you really both of our favorites.
I'm going to save your favorite. I'm going to eat Rainer's favorite.
Yeah.
And we're both wearing our matching favorite insulated jackets.
Yeah.
The Enlightened Equipment Torrid Apex synthetic material, which is nice in these moist environments.
Yes.
And yeah, one of those things that Miranda and I, we agree probably on 50% of things of like
It's more than most.
being our favorite gear, which is cool. I don't know anything about eggs. What I do know about is that I got a meal ready to go.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's really good.
That's so good.
I love when meals are super cheesy.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, the creamy Tuscan chicken is like so creamy.
Sorry.
You gonna go bite? You gonna go one? Yeah.
So the sun's come out a little bit and things have cleared up on the lake. So let's go take a look, have a couple bites of our meal and get some of these views. Cause this is one of the more beautiful lakes in the Rockies. And it's looking good.
You got a leaf on my cheesy.
Got a leaf on my cheesy. It's a stupid little hat. It's a leaf on my cheesy. The final cheesy. It's one of those.
That's where we go.
We have finished eating dinner, hanging out, getting close to crawling into bed, warming up a little bit. First, gotta brush my teeth, and I am using Miranda's favorite toothbrush, which is the trail brush. I've used this thing before, but I stopped because it's kind of ridiculous.
I love it. I love it.
It's a toothbrush that you attach to your spoon, then you brush your teeth, and then yeah, that's a little toothbrush. Brush them up.
I am actually also gonna brush my teeth. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm gonna put my numbers together.
Get in there.
Oh, I already hit my teeth. Oh, yeah, again.
I would be a little bit more careful. Be more gentle.
I also just noticed you have yours on the opposite side.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It's a lot easier.
So, as usual, Miranda's favorite gear, she gave me some pro tips, and it kind of worked out. So I switched my toothbrush around, so it's on the back side of the spoon. That really helped. Then opening up wider was helpful as well. And then I used my tongue to kind of protect my teeth from the metal of the spoon, and it worked. This thing's only like, what, 3 grams? 3 grams. For a gram weenie, it's hard to pass that up. Time to head to bed. The rain today really sucked the energy and the heat out of us, so it'll be nice to warm up and get a good rest, especially with tomorrow being the toughest day of the trip. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of elevation, some tough navigation conditions, and yeah, really gonna be putting the gear and ourselves to the test. Good morning. I'm excited to share with you Miranda's favorite sleep system because I had a great sleep last night. The Hornet Elite kept me nice and dry last night, and I'm glad I had the extra space because especially when it's raining, it's nice to have that inside the tent. And it's still a very lightweight tent, even in the 2P version. I just finished packing up my sleep system and tent, and I'm grabbing my bear can here in order to eat breakfast. I do like the simplicity and the foolproofness of this, but for me, the bulk, the weight, and how difficult it is to open the lid makes it that it's not for me, not something that I'm gonna be bringing on trips. Everyone's awake. Miranda, Rainer, we're just eating breakfast, and then we start our morning with a cold creek crossing. I do something that I normally don't do, and that's carry my shoes across the creek. Normally, I just walk across with my shoes, but today I'm gonna carry them across, keep my shoes a little bit dry to start off the day. Ooh.
Not too cold, right?
It feels good.
That wasn't too bad. The water was surprisingly warm. Now that we have our wet and cold shoes on, we're gonna follow the lake. There's a trail that goes all the way around it, and then start gaining elevation pretty quickly, and then make it to the second and then the third passes of the day. I also want to dive a little bit deeper into the water filtration system that I'm using on this trip and the Migo bottle that Miranda co-designed. Then I have some gear philosophy questions I want to chat with Miranda about as well. So we just finished up. Big portion of the elevation gain for the day. Definitely a calf burner. Got to engage those glutes. Feeling good, but we're gonna stop here, have a little food, drink some water, hydrate a little bit. I got some questions for you about your filter system and the water bottle, so we'll chat a little bit about that here too. Miranda's favorite water filtration system is the knock bag and the Sawyer filter. I also really like the knock bag with the wide opening, easy to scoop water and then push it through the squeeze filters. My question is about the Sawyer squeeze. Why the Sawyer squeeze? Because there's so many squeeze filter options out there.
So I think the reason I like the Sawyer squeeze is that I had a different filter before I got this one, the Catadine. And the problem with that filter was that I would filter really dirty water and then I could just absolutely never get that filter clean ever again. Whereas with this filter, you can, like, even with as sad of a dribble as your filter has.
Yeah, full transparency. My filter, I think I grabbed my old Sawyer squeeze and it's dribbling like an 80-year-old man right now. So I've been borrowing Miranda's, and I was actually surprised at how fast it's filtering water, because in my memory, even when this was new, it wasn't filtering that fast. So I don't know if you have like a newer one that is like faster or something, but
nope.
Okay,
no, I'm so excited to tell you about
that's pretty good. Yeah.
The thing with the Sawyer filter that I think people don't realize is that it, just like a lot of our pieces of gear, like your sleeping bag, for example, it requires maintenance to be fast and effective, you know? But as long as you do that maintenance, it will always be that fast and that effective. You should back flush it multiple times. And the best way to really know if it's clean and like ready to go is actually to back flush into another container so you can see the color of the water.
Ooh, good hack.
If you have had one that you haven't maintained, if there's a possibility that froze, if there's a possibility that dried out, which seems like yours probably did.
Yeah.
Like you might just need to get another one, you know? But I think if you treat it the way that we're all supposed to like treat our cars, like doing an oil change or our other gear, they'll just last forever.
We're popping out of the trees, and now we're starting our alpine adventure. We're gonna be heading up along this giant rock wall here, and then popping up above the trees, and then making that pass so you can just see angling from right to left. So we've been doing some pretty steep climbing, basically the first half of the day. Definitely calf ribs, but Miranda's smiling like she's just telling me, she's like, I love this.
Dude,
my calves are burning so good.
Well, I love it when like you have a short, steep section where like you cannot possibly go fast. That's what feels so good about being like slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. Like you get to a moderately flat section and it's like, oh heck yeah, yeah, I love it.
Exactly. And then we still have a little bit of ways to go to get to the top of the pass. Earlier, Miranda and I were talking about the weight of packs and how that can influence a trip. And you're telling me an interesting thing about like what you hear is the biggest thing that people kind of struggle with when they're on backpacking.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I hear is people complaining about their pack weight. And I think especially people who are kind of new to backpacking and like don't know how to cut weight without swapping out their gear for something more expensive and lighter. That's like the number one thing that I hear is people being like, yeah, I like backpacking, it was fun, but like, God, my pack was so heavy, you know? Especially
when you're dealing with elevation, it starts taking its toll. And I think like your pack, you don't have like super lightweight gear on this trip, but your pack only weighed 28 pounds for a 3-day trip.
25.
Yeah, 25. With food and water.
Yeah, my pack is like not super heavy, and I still brought like some luxuries. I brought a game for us all to play.
Oh, nice.
I brought like a little notebook to draw in.
Yeah, I think this is something that is a good message to kind of get out there, is like, without spending a ton of money, without having to buy like Dyneema tents and like quilts and all these other things that people associate with ultralight backpacking.
Yeah.
So have a lightweight pack, enjoy the trip. These elevations, gains, and hills are just not as tough as they would be if we had 40, 50-pound packs.
Truly.
We made it up.
Woo! Good job.
From here, we're gonna go along the ridge, cut down, and then that's where the lack of trail section starts. So up through that grass area, and then up that rock section to that saddle, there's no trail. So we're gonna have to pick our way, find our own way. Last time I did this, we got a little lost and it wasn't ideal. So hopefully this time we can choose a better route. So we've been making our way down from the second pass of the trip through a beautiful kind of meadowy area. But now we're heading down through these trees into a valley, only to have to then head back up to the highest point of the trip, up to that saddle that you can see right there. So I've been using the Migo bottle for 2 days now.
Yeah.
Like one and a half, pretty much 2 days.
Yeah.
And a bunch of things that I am loving about it. Some things that are a little bit unexpected. I love the fact that you can screw on just a flip cap on there or a regular cap, whatever you want. You have the wide opening, which is awesome, not only for being able to filter water in easily, you can clean it easily, but also, hold this for a second, you can take your electrolytes, dump it in real easily.
Heck yeah. That was definitely like part of my reasoning, was like not only that I always put electrolytes in my water, but I knew that I would need to wash them, so I needed to be easy to clean, but also like easy to just dump electrolytes in and be good to go.
That makes total sense. I've kind of been thinking about it, but I've only been putting my electrolytes in this bottle.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be easy to clean and rinse out after. Can you throw it in a dishwasher?
You can, yeah.
I'll just do that. And then the squeezability factor is like phenomenal. You squeeze it, it just pops back, really nice. The one thing that I know people are going to be like, and you've probably heard this, and is the weight, 132 grams.
Yeah.
What do you say to people who are like, I just can't carry 132 grams?
Yeah, I mean, I think if like you were like, I can't carry 132 grams, then I think that's like, that this is not for you, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was like, I used Nalgene's for so long, like traditional standard Nalgene's, and I wanted something that fit somewhere between like a Nalgene and a smart water bottle.
I would encourage people, because like I was skeptical. I was going to be like 132 grams. I got my smart water bottle.
Yeah.
But once you use it, it's actually like that. Then you notice the differences and the ease of use, and then you start thinking, but like, is the quality of life improvements that I get from using this worth 2 ounces or
basically.
essentially?
Yeah.
And I'd say like, even if you're only carrying one of these, and then maybe you have a smart water bottle as well.
Totally.
Then like that's a great balance, and
Yeah.
probably what I'm gonna do. And definitely like winter time, the fact that you can hold boiling water in here, this is 100% gonna be my winter bottle.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like every single day, especially if you guys make an insulated koozie for it.
We're working on that.
Nice.
For sure. Yeah. So just so that I can hear it, music to my ears. So you're saying that you, even as a grain weenie, approve of this and you think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't think I wasn't expecting that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
totally.
And I'm not always like, I drop weight from my pack so that I can carry some things that improve the quality of my backpacking, whether it's a sleeping pad, pillow, chair, or a water bottle that just functions a lot better than a smart water bottle. So this is one of those things that this fits into that category.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Thank you so
job.
much. I'm very, very honored.
We're also trying to find the trail right now, because this is the spot where we lose the trail as we head up to the pass. So we're gonna cross the creek here, maybe find a little bit of a trail, but then it'll disappear pretty quickly, and we're just gonna have to navigate as best we can. This is tough going. No switchbacks, just going straight up the mountain, one step at a time, with no real discernible trail. We're just following the routes on our watches to try and make it up the mountain here. We've been slogging up this ridge from the river valley down there, following creek beds, just bushwhacking at times. It's definitely slow going, definitely been a slog. And now we got a little bit more through the alpine to get up onto that kind of greenish tinged ridge in order to take us to the top of the saddle and up to the highest pass on the Great Divide Trail and the highest point of the trail for us on this trip. And then once we get up to the pass, we'll get a view of Michelle Lakes, where we're gonna be camping tonight. And then we'll get camp set up, and I'll be able to share with you a few more of Miranda's favorite items, like the sleep system and the cook system. There's a cairn right there. We're almost at the saddle. We made it up onto the highest point of the trip. Beautiful saddle views all around, behind us, in front of us. We're gonna be heading down and across towards that ridge basically right there, and then follow that around until we hit Michelle Lakes. We should get some pretty beautiful views from there. It's quite windy, so I'm hoping we can find a little bit of shelter at the lakes. Otherwise, I'm gonna be putting the Hornet Elite to the test when it comes to windworthiness, which is one of the worries that I had with that tent. From here, you get a good view of the lakes. We're probably gonna drop down below that waterfall, go around underneath this cliff, maybe camp right there, depending on how it's looking, or walk along the shore and then camp either there or right in between the lakes.
There.
Maybe, yeah. We made it to the spot where we're gonna set up camp, kind of in between the upper and lower Michelle Lakes. It's sheltered from the wind by this ridge that's separating the two lakes. It's not the best terrain, but I'm gonna try setting up right here. Miranda and Raina are gonna be yonder. And yeah, gonna get set up, and then we'll start probably making dinner pretty quickly. But first, I'm gonna set up my sleep system, and then I'm gonna bring Miranda over to answer some questions that I have after sleeping on it last night. So I got Miranda here, and let's go through the items, then I'll ask you some questions, because there's some things based on using it last night that I'm a little bit unsure about. We have the Nemo Tensor All Season down here, which is a popular pad. Why do you like it?
I've had a lot of different sleeping pads, from like Big Agnes and Thermarest, and ultimately I think the Tensor has been like the most reliable for me and the most comfortable. But truthfully, to some extent now, it's like I've been using a Tensor for so long and it hasn't really been an issue for me that I don't have any interest in swapping.
Yeah,
you know, there is a little bit of that.
I think it's a great pad. I'm going to share with you guys tomorrow morning why I really like the Tensor All Season as well as all this other gear, but right now we're going to focus on why you like it and the questions I have. For the sleeping bag, a lot of people might not be familiar with this bag because it's fairly new. Not a lot of people out there have it. It's the Thermarest Boost 650, and like you use sleeping bags and quilts.
I do.
So when do you go for the Boost and why?
I have a couple of different quilts that I really love that I tend to choose when I'm using on like longer trips or where I'm trying to like really keep my pack light. But truthfully, the most comfortable sleeping bag I've ever used is the Boost.
Interesting.
So for me, it's like if I want something that's really cozy and comfortable that like has a lot of features, that's when I choose this.
The reason it's called the Boost is because of this feature, the zipper that it has down the middle, where when it's undone, you get a lot of extra room inside the sleeping bag, and it makes it so that the bag is as warm as the rating of 20 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 6 degrees Celsius. But if you zip that up, it boosts the bag.
Yeah.
And Thermarest has told me that it boosts it by about 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
And I having used it in really cold temperatures, I would say that that's accurate.
Oh, nice. I haven't had down those temperatures. That's good to know. That's sweet. There's a second really cool feature with the Boost that I love. I think you like it too. Do you want to introduce it?
I do. I love this feature. So the Boost has these zippers on either side of the bag that you can stick your arms out of. And the first time I found out about this, like I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm never going to use that. But then when I used the bag, I was like all curled up in my sleeping bag, really cold. I wanted to get a drink of water and I was like, oh my God, I don't have to like undo all of this. I can just unzip, reach out and like grab it. It's also great for like reading. There's so much that's
so much.
awesome.
I love these. And if you get too warm, you can just dump heat easily. Like
That's
the
true,
versatility of this bag, from like being able to dump heat through this,
Yes.
the center zipper for increasing heat. It's really one of those like one bag rules them all.
Truly.
And
yeah.
I do have one issue with it that I'm going to share with people, but I'm gonna do that later. It's
Okay.
not like it's more of an issue with Thermarest, and it's like something I wish they did
Oh yeah.
with the bag. You know what? I'm gonna share.
Yeah,
it.
tell me. I want to
It's-
know.
I
I have an issue with it too, so I'm curious.
my issue with it is that I wish it was lighter. I
That's
told
my
them
issue with it
that
too.
they need a boost UL.
They
yeah.
do. They need a boost UL. That is also my issue. Is that like I love it, but like I said, I'm gonna carry my quilt if I need something light.
The third item,
Yeah.
the pillow.
Yeah.
And I know you love the Nemo Philo Elite pillow.
I should start by saying that for the longest time I was a back sleeper. I slept like flat on my back and that was it. And the Philo is perfect for that. It's like just enough cushion that if you're lying on your back, it just gives you like just enough. And so I do think that for people who want a thicker pillow to be a side sleeper, I think this is not it, frankly.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna share some more of my thoughts tomorrow morning after I get another good night's sleep on it. But I think we're both pretty hungry, so let's go eat.
I'm starving.
Time to dive into the cook system.
Yeah.
We got Miranda here in case there's any questions, as there has been. For the pot, we got the Toke 750, which I'm assuming is the size that you need in order to cook a meal and then have like a hot beverage.
Yeah.
Because I did see you had your little gourd thing for tea.
I do. I did pack a gourd. I've gone back and forth over the course of like 15 years of backpacking between like bringing a cup or not bringing a cup. And I've recently gotten back on the bring a mug train.
And then the stove, this is the one I have questions about.
Okay.
Because it's the Soto Windmaster. I think you use the Quad Flex, the four thingamajiggies.
Yep.
So Rainer back behind the camera there is currently using the Pocket Rocket Deluxe.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to the Windmaster and its fiercest rival. So why the Windmaster versus the Pocket Rocket Deluxe?
Honestly, the Windmaster I have found boils water faster when it's windy. It does like exactly what it says. And I think that overall, like that is why I choose that stove.
And it's gonna get the job done. It's gonna boil some water so I can eat your favorite meal, the chicken and dumplings. And yeah, I'm hungry, so let's get to this.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm starved.
Well, my meal's done, so I'm gonna eat the chicks and dumps. We're weird. That's like what's the word when you feel like you're at home? Like comforting.
Oh yeah.
It's very comforting. Yeah.
I'm all right, I'm good, but none of them are.
It's getting dark. It's getting cold. I'm heading to bed so I can put a final test on Miranda's sleep system and then give you my thoughts on it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow I'll also highlight some of my favorite gear that is Miranda's favorite as well, including some items that I didn't really talk about as we were doing the trip. We'll also have the poop kit showdown, which I'm really excited about. So good night, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We lucked out last night because as soon as we went to bed, it started raining. It rained off and on for pretty much the entire night and then is still raining this morning. So we're going to be staying in the tent a little bit, getting all packed up, and then we'll put on our rain gear, go get breakfast. Before I do that, I want to share a little bit about what I liked about the sleep system that I used on this trip, because I now have 2 nights on it. I have many more nights with the sleeping pad on other trips, as well as the sleeping bag, and then a little bit of experience with the pillow. But on this trip, it all kind of got used together in this really neat system. I love the tensor all season. It's really lightweight, really warm, compact, and then quite comfortable, especially with the extra 1/2 inch that they added to the pad with the updated version. It just is a very comfortable pad. That really paired well with the sleeping bag, which I don't usually like. I'm more of a quilt person because I find it easier to shift positions when you're sleeping. But with this sleeping bag and this sleeping pad, I kind of just slept like a log. I just set it and forget it, turned onto my side, fell asleep, and then just woke up this morning. So I didn't really need to worry about shifting positions, which made it really comfortable inside the sleeping bag. The Philo Elite pillow, very comfy feeling, but just isn't for me because like Miranda said, it's not a very thick pad. So if you're a back sleeper, it could be a great option, but as a side sleeper, it's just not tall enough. So I like to go with thicker options like the Xped Mega Pillow or the Nemo Philo pillow, which has a bigger foam topper on it, which adds some height to it. I'm gonna work on getting this sleep system all packed up, deal with the rain, and then I'm probably gonna have to go poop at some point. So at that point, I'll grab Miranda and we'll do the poop kit showdown. Poop kit showdown time.
Oh, I'm ready. Okay, let's do it.
Full transparency, I did accidentally grab your poop kit bag because we have the same poop kit bag, the Poopmoji bag, and I grabbed yours, got all the way up there, went partway through the process,
No.
and then was like, oh no, there's one of the items in here that
Yeah.
you just can't share.
Yeah, no, you really can't.
Yeah. So the Space Bear bag's Poopmoji bag. I love it. Good size for the trowel that we got in here. So let's pull out the trowel because we both have the same trowel, the Bogler trowel.
Oh, are we even the same color?
The same color,
oh my
orange.
God. Wow.
Fun fact, orange is the most popular color sold at Garage Growing Gear.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
I did realize when I was using your trowel, because that's why it's all dirty, apologies,
Yeah. No worries.
is that you have the single straighted edge trowel.
Yeah.
So Ben now has 2 straight edges.
Whoa, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Is
so
that
it's
new?
It's new in the last year. Yeah.
Wow.
So do you want to trade? I have a lot of the straighted edges ones.
Do you really?
Yeah. So you take that one, see if it changes your life. It did for me. I love these trowels because they're so light. Ergonomic grip. You have the little nub in there for pushing on it. Little holes, just well engineered trowel.
I agree.
Next up, I think the important factor, like once we're gonna do this in order of operation.
Okay.
So once you dug your hole, you do your business.
Your business.
You got to clean up.
Uh-huh.
What's your strategy?
My strategy is bidet
Okay.
and leaves. So
Leaves.
yes,
Interesting.
this is my bidet.
Who makes this?
This is the Human Gear bidet. It is very like clunky and heavy, as you can see, but I love it.
It fits in the bag.
It
I feel like it
does.
fits like.
Yeah, it fits in the bag, and like what I love about it is that I can fill it with water and then like close it and carry it somewhere else, you know? And so, yeah, I just find it to be really handy. Plus, I feel like this is generally enough water for me to like get clean.
I have a bidet too.
Yeah.
Mine's this little holy hiker doodad.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised that it works very well with the Migo bottle. So I just popped it on there, able to squeeze water out of it, introduce water into the backside
Yeah.
in order to get nice and clean. You also use soap?
I do also use soap, yeah.
Where does that land in your
In my,
order of operations?
The soap comes in handy for after I've gone to the bathroom, after I've like wiped with moss and leaves, after I've cleaned everything up. Even though I'm not like touching anything, I still like to like wash and clean my hands, just because of the fact that like this is a waste system, you know?
Yeah.
So that's when the soap comes in handy.
Nice. You have the cool little bottle.
I do.
We're both using Peak Outdoors powdered soap.
Yeah.
Some suds, and yeah, great because it doesn't freeze. Lightweight.
Yes.
Not as like messy if it kind of gets everywhere because it's not like a liquid. Yeah. Highly recommend this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna finish packing up my tent and then we're gonna hit the trail and I'll share with you some of my favorites from the trip of Miranda's gear and talk about some of the lessons learned as well. We're back on the trail, made our way around the lakes. Beautiful lakes still, even with the overcast weather and rain. We're on this floodplain now, and then we're gonna make our way up this slope to the 4th pass of the trip. As we head up to the pass, I wanna talk about my favorite pieces of gear from Miranda's favorite piece of gear, starting with the Boost sleeping bag, which was actually a surprise for me because normally I don't like sleeping bags. Like I was saying, I don't find that I can shift positions with them quite well enough compared to a quilt, but with the Boost, I was just so comfy and cozy that I just fell asleep and then woke up 8 hours later. So that's a pretty big deal. If you can just sleep through the night when you're on a backpacking trip, then you take that and you run with it. Another item that wasn't a surprise is the REI Flash 55. I've loved this pack for years. The adjustable torso, the water bottle pockets, the ability to carry a lot of weight. This pack is awesome. One of the items that I didn't really talk about on this trip, but that was really nice to have is the Moonlight Elite chair from Nemo. Miranda usually sits on the ground. That's kind of her MO, but when she is sitting in a chair, it's Moonlight Elite. She mentioned that that's her favorite just with how comfy it is. And then having the footprint that doubles as a case is just a really nice feature. Before we get into the biggest surprise piece of gear of the trip, two of the other items that I really enjoyed had to do with water. First one being the knock bag, which makes scooping water out of streams and filtering it really easy. You can just push water through filters with no problem. And then I really enjoyed testing out the Migo bottle that Miranda designed, which is super cool. The final item, which was a really big surprise for me, I've used it before, didn't really like it, was the trail brush. But Miranda kind of showed me the ropes with it, with turning it around on my spoon and then using my tongue in order to protect my teeth as I'm brushing my teeth. And with those two changes, I don't hate it anymore. And I think it might be what I bring from now on trips where I'm trying to be as ultralight as possible or going with a super ultralight base weight. We just finished following a really nice ridge, made it up to the 4th pass of the trip, which is really cool. That's a lot of passes in a 3-day trip. And from here, we're gonna be following this gully down to that creek and the tree line there, and then following a pretty narrow and steep creek all the way back to the trailhead. There's definitely some lessons learned on this trip. 3 that I really want to highlight, starting with one that I'm realizing mostly today, and that's the fact that I really need to make sure I'm bringing my rainproof mitts when it's going to be multiple days of rain and pretty cold temperatures. My second lesson learned is that it's a ton of fun and you can learn a lot from putting yourself into someone else's backpacking shoes. Miranda and I agree on some gear, disagree on some others, and it was really fun hearing her reasons for liking some of the same gear that we both enjoy, but then why she likes some of the gear that I don't like. And it all comes down to different experiences, different needs, and just kind of comfort levels with different amounts of gear. Miranda's a phenomenal backpacker, really experienced, so I knew going into this that the gear that was her favorites but not necessarily mine had good reasons behind it. And it was really fun and interesting hearing those reasons, and I learned a lot on this trip about different approaches to backpacking and how you can do it in different ways. I definitely want to do more trips like this where I'm using other people's gear, and I'd encourage you guys, when you're out on trips, maybe swap one of your favorite pieces of gear with someone that's going on the trip with you and experience what I got to experience on this trip with Miranda. The third thing I learned on this trip is that Miranda's a bit of a gear nerd. I always knew that she had a ton of knowledge about gear, but she spent hours talking to me about gear, textiles, features, different materials, and I had a blast because I'm a huge gear nerd. I could talk about gear for days, but it was really cool experiencing that with Miranda and getting to hear about her different opinions about gear and thoughts on just very nuanced things that only really a gear nerd would care about. Before the trip, I was showing Miranda the map, and she was wondering, how are we getting back to the trailhead? Because we just took one car. And that makes it so we have to somehow get back to where we started The way that we're doing that is e-bike. So I got my Hey Bike e-bike right here. And this is what I'm gonna be driving back to the car. Folding this up, throwing it in my car, and it'll be good to go. If you're interested in what my favorite gear is, go check out this video right up here. Some of it is similar to Miranda's, but there's a lot that's quite different. Catch you guys on the flip side.